I'm Pete White, and I'm locked in.
I'm Stephen Mowry, and I'm locked in.
I'm Jordan Griffin, and I'm locked in.
Hey everybody, this is Island Fight CEO Dean Toole, and I am locked in.
I'm Michael Davis, and I'm locked in.
This is John Fitch, and I'm locked in.
And we are locked in. Myself, Max Van Auken, Dave the Wave. How are you doing in the Locked In studio?
Cuzzo, I'm doing great, buddy. Doing good. But how are you? Do you feel older? Do you feel stronger? More mature?
I feel dangerous.
Richer?
I feel dangerous.
What was it? Last weekend you just had a birthday. So first of all, happy birthday, Max.
Gracias.
Everyone listening, I want you to take 9 seconds of your day and sing happy birthday. Okay, thank you so much. There you go, Max. They sang to you. So
thank you.
Let's get this started. I'm ready. I'm pumped. I kind of have a rant, but if you want to start first or you want me to go, I can go.
I do just want real quick before we get into all the NBA free agency, because that will probably, we're going to disagree. We're going to battle back and forth. That'll probably go on for an hour. So make sure you guys, if you're driving, drive safely. If you're sitting down, then get pumped. That's pretty much about it. But I do want to reflect real quick about the Super Bowl. So I finished my whole NFL record postseason 9-2, and those two losses were to the Bears, missed field goal, and it was to the pass interference call against the Saints, but that's no excuse. The Saints had plenty of opportunities to beat the Rams. The missed field goal, they listed as a block, so it happens. But I am still happy, 9-2. We both finished correctly with the Super Bowl prediction. The Patriots win. Tom Brady's 6th Super Bowl. Bill Belichick's 6th Super Bowl. Man, they beat the Chiefs, they beat the Rams, and they beat the Chargers. The three teams that everyone said they couldn't beat, they beat.
Yeah. And I went into the Super Bowl, and I think you and I were both on the game probably means more for the Rams and McVay and getting Goff's first and seeing how good Todd Gurley is and great players like Aaron Donald and Ndamukong Suh, all this stuff. Brady's already got 5. Belichick's got 5. Their legacy's cemented. But I'm going to be honest, I do feel a tad different after the Patriots win. Because I almost feel it's like one of their best wins. It's one of their most accomplished wins. It's maybe Bill Belichick's best coaching job ever. So I don't even put him more on a pedestal. It's like, guys, if you can't understand how all-time great these coaches and quarterbacks are, and then 2, I don't think it's one dynasty. I think it's 2 dynasties. In the free agent era of the NFL, draft picks, team goes first to worst. The Eagles won the championship. They barely got into the playoffs. Who they played never comes back. The AFC South, if you're the best, you're the worst 2 years later. It's just how the league is. Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, they won 3 out of 4 championships 18, 19, 16 years ago, Max. They took some time off. They were still really good. One of the top 5 best teams in the league for 8, 9 years. Lost 2 Super Bowls in there, both to the Giants. Eli Manning, crazy plays. But now to win the best Super Bowl ever, down 28-3 to the Falcons, come back, win the only overtime game ever, and then to beat the Chargers, Chiefs on the road with the MVP, Patrick Mahomes, and the 30-point average in team of the Rams, shut them down to 3, the lowest scoring game ever in Super Bowl history. It's like 2 different dynasties. It's amazing.
This was the most impressive Super Bowl because the controversies in the beginning of the season, the first time Bill Belichick and Tom Brady have really clashed. Gronk is old. Edelman is your main guy. Then you had the thing with Gordon. Everything was just not the way typical Patriot seasons go. And for them to win when nobody thought they would win. But what's the most impressive to me is this. The narrative that we both agree that it probably meant more to the Rams than it did the Patriots. Mm-hmm. But that's not even the case. It's like, at what point do we just say, okay, even though it's their first Super Bowl that they could win, these guys looked hungrier than the Rams, in my opinion. I think Tom Brady he was yelling, he was making audibles, and then Josh McDaniels to say, hey, look, we've never come up with this play before, but we're going to make this happen, and to do that, and Gronk, he's like on his very last life in the NFL, but he still pushes through and makes the catch for Brady. I think it gets to the point where Yeah, like making your first dollar is like, oh my God, I just made my first paycheck type of thing with a new job.
Yeah.
But once you get success, you're like, oh my God, I know I could do even better. And it's like, maybe they've just gotten to the point where they just want it more than everybody. So that's why they put so much more film work in. That's why they work harder than everybody. That's why they're smarter than everybody. Even when they don't have the most talented roster, they just will their way to victories. And like you said, to be and shut out the Chiefs in the first half, but then yet to be in the lowest scoring game, like that's just being able to adapt to a situation because you're willing to do whatever it takes to win. So going into next season, we're not going to give our Super Bowl picks this early, but I mean, just right away, you can't say, oh God, they've have 6. They don't need a 7th one. They're not as hungry. Like, you know, this team is going to be just as hungry to win a 7th one.
Yeah, the Patriot way.
There's nothing we've ever seen before. It's like the champion that just like Floyd. It almost reminds me of Floyd. It really does, because Floyd, like a lot of fighters in their prime, like even Conor McGregor, it's like, okay, he knocks out a lot of people, then he kind of got a little complacent, maybe have underestimated a couple people, that Nate Diaz the first time, and then he revamps and fights him the second time. Floyd, the one thing you have to say about Floyd, and we speak to the professor about this all the time, he's 50-0, and he's taken every single fight seriously, and he's trained properly for every single fight. You can't say that about a lot of other fighters.
No, very true. I'm going to hit on that, but I do want to go back to something you said about how they just wanted more. Yeah, there's like a UFC fighter that just jumped in my head was Matt Hughes. He's just not the most talented. You know, GSP is just more giftedly talented, height, agility, athletic. You know, Matt Hughes is just a grunt. You know, he works harder. He's in the gym longer. He just wants to win more. Guys, Julian Edelman is not more talented than the guys, the defensive backs that were guarding him. He's slower than those guys, but he just wants it more. He's smarter. He listens. He just does all the right things, all the good things. All the Patriots do that. Back to your Floyd. One thing, though, is ever since he was 28-0, right? Floyd was, I would guess, 99% always the favorite. He started winning, and then he was just a favorite. And then he seems like he kind of, to be honest, ducked guys when they were at their toppest peak, and then he would fight someone going down, like maybe like Manny Pacquiao. What the Patriots do, you can't duck guys. Whoever the NFL gives you, the NFL made the Chiefs the best team all year long. They had the MVP and the home field, and New England had to go in up to Kansas City and be an underdog. That's, to me, more impressive than Floyd Money Mayweather.
I think it's more impressive, but I will say this other similarity. Now, this is completely off script. We may have to run away with this a little bit. The AFC, and I don't necessarily agree with it, but they always say it's an easy route for the Patriots, and they've made it the easy route. It's not necessarily just an easy route. I disagree with a lot of people who say that's why they won all their championships. Oh, really? Well, they just beat the Rams. That wasn't in the AFC.
Yeah, it's definitely not easier. Peyton Manning was in the AFC, who is easily the second greatest quarterback of the last 20 years.
But a lot of people credit that to why the Patriots always end up in the Super Bowl. Look at the AFC in the past years. The Bills, and you know the story.
The AFC East.
Yeah. And you look at who Floyd has fought, and it's like, oh, look who Floyd fights. He's supposed to win these games. So they both have kind of been criticized for having the easy route. But whenever Floyd fought Manny Pacquiao, whenever he fought these top guys, De La Hoya, he was supposed to beat Conor McGregor, but whenever he fights these big names, Madonna again, he does win. And like you said, the Patriots do win. But anyway, congratulations to the Patriots. 6 Super Bowls. They'll be a great team next year. I can't wait to do that journey with you again. Our NFL picks were on point from the regular season to the playoffs.
That was fun.
It was absolutely amazing. But now is where we really get to debate and battle, because I know we disagree with a lot of NBA free agency. Can we save the Anthony Davis for last?
No, can we jump into it?
Oh, you want to just go into it first?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's so much more. Yeah, well, Tobias Harris, dude, I put the video up on Kristaps Porzingis, but we haven't really mentioned that at all in the podcast, so we'll break it all down. But guys, before we get into the NBA, download, subscribe on all podcast platforms, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're throwing out a lot of content on YouTube. Check out YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, locked_in. Check us out. All right, Max, you ready?
Yep.
All right. Los Angeles Lakers. Your favorite team?
Mm-hmm.
LeBron James?
Favorite athlete of all time?
Okay. Going into this season, where did you predict the Lakers would be?
Like a mid-playoff team. I didn't think they would... I ranked them with you as the second-best team in the West, but I knew they wouldn't finish the second-best team record-wise.
But you think they would be the second-best team in the West?
Like come playoff time.
Sure, come playoff team. And then you just
they probably finish 5th, 6th, 7th seed.
Oh, wow. Okay. I thought at least 4th or 5th.
No, because it takes time to gel. Like, it takes time to gel with not only the young players, but getting used to LeBron. And LeBron moving to another team typically takes him a little bit longer to adjust to the atmosphere, the coaching, management.
I just thought on Christmas, they were the 2nd or 3rd best team in the West. I thought they were gelling. Kyle Kuzma was the Robin to Batman. Brandon Ingram was good. Like, he was disappointing us, but he was still a good player. You and I disagree with Lonzo Ball, but Lonzo Ball is definitely a legit NBA starter. He's just not going to be a Hall of Famer. Josh Hart was balling. Rondo was fitting in. Before LeBron got hurt, they beat even Golden State that day. I think they were around the 3 or the 4 seed. I thought the Lakers had a good shot. I thought they were playing well. And then he got hurt.
Not just him, though. A lot of the roster did.
A lot of the roster got hurt, but this has been LeBron James' biggest injury ever. Sooner or later, guys get old. He's going to get injured probably more often. He's been the absolute Iron Man of the NBA for almost 2 decades. It's going to happen, guys. It's just time. It will. So then Anthony Davis, a week ago, Max said he wants to leave New Orleans. And you and I differ on what the Lakers should trade for Anthony Davis. By the way, the 6th best player in the world, 3rd best player tonight, but he's unbelievable.
Top 5.
7-time All-Star, great player, one of the top 2-3 best bigs in the whole world, right? There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, he's the best big in the game.
Best big in the game. Wow, okay.
Yeah. Well, because he doesn't necessarily just play the 5. He's definitely the best power forward.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Maybe Joel Embiid, maybe. But, Giannis and KD and all those guys, those are 4 to 3s, But in the big, I can probably give you that. He probably is the best.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I was the Lakers, I would want to trade. To me, Kuzma and Ingram are your A young guys, and then Hart and Ball are your Bs, and then maybe 1 draft pick and a veteran. That's what I would want to do. 1A, 1B, give him a draft pick or 2 and give him a veteran. And I think you and I differed. You were like, hey, to get AD, to get the 5th best player in the world, 3rd best player in the world, the best big, give him everything, right? Give him Ball, Hart, everyone, Ingram, Kuzma. And if they made that trade, I think a week ago we talked on the podcast, if we made that trade, if the Lakers made it, you thought they would be the 2nd or 3rd best team in the West, right? So all this, you're agreeing with me. Now, it doesn't look like the trade's going to get done. It looks like New Orleans, and tell me if you agree with this, they're being difficult. They didn't like how this, they feel manipulated. They feel like with the agent Rich Paul and him and being with LeBron, they don't feel like this was on the up and up. Is that fair?
Yeah. Pelicans are 100% being difficult.
Yes.
100%. They feel, and it's not even just an opinion, it's a fact now. They like Clutch Sports. They don't like what the Clutch Sports did with LeBron's trying to manipulate the league. Anthony Davis with Clutch Sports.
Yes.
And even though the writing was on the wall, they're trying to act like they didn't see it coming at all. And I'll let you continue on the rant, but 100% they're being difficult.
Absolutely. Like, you would sell something to your friend for $5, but maybe to your enemy for $10.
Yeah.
Makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So now it doesn't look like this trade's going to happen. So now, and it got leaked, probably from New Orleans, who's trying to hurt, I think, LA. And they said, hey, guys, they offered everyone. Deshaun Stevenson, Rondo, all the youth, all
Lance Stevenson, you mean?
Lance Stevenson, yeah. Deshaun, that's funny.
It's like, God, they offered to play. I don't even know if.
They did offer a lot. So now these players, the young guys, they just lost to Indiana, the Pacers, without Victor Oladipo.
42-point loss, the worst in LeBron's career.
Yeah.
And everyone knows the image with Rondo all the way on this side, LeBron all the way on this side, the young players. And yeah.
So it's messy. Mm-hmm. This is a mess for LA. This is a disaster or tornado, a hurricane, havoc, magma, lava, any buzzword you want to use. Max, this is horrible. Do you think the Lakers are going to get AD? Do you think they're going to get him in the offseason? Not even that. I want to make a bold statement right now. The Lakers have a better shot to miss the Western Conference playoffs than to win a championship. You can never say with a team with LeBron James, it's NBA Finals or bust, or it's an NBA championship or bust. I'm not even sure this team's going to make the playoffs.
There's a couple things there. One, I don't want to interrupt your rant.
It's kind of done, but I definitely want your take on this, the offseason. And just like the last bow on it, the playoff was my bold statement. My last bow is another bold statement. This is a failed experiment already. This is my 2 cents, and you can say, David, this is way too early. This doesn't work. LeBron and the Lakers don't work. They never win a championship. They never make it to the finals. I don't see anyone coming with AD. I don't know if the Pelicans are going to trade to him. A big free agent's not going to go there. Kawhi's a Clipper. Durant's a Knick, all this stuff. They might get Jimmy Butler. The young guys don't like it there. I think this is a bust.
Okay. I disagree with everything, and here's why. Number one, the first thing you said, well, one of the first couple of things was just off like the last piece. As you said, it's usually finals or bust for LeBron.
Yes,
this
sir.
year was the first year it wasn't finals or bust for LeBron because of he was joining a young roster. They weren't even supposed to get a free agent yet until the summer. Mm-hmm. So this was the season there. Okay, make the playoffs. This season was to see how good is Kyle Kuzma, how good is Brandon Ingram, who's better between the two. Is Lonzo Ball a bust? Is he a future All-Star? Josh Hart's from Villanova. I love the kid's IQ. Where is he going to play in this? Mm-hmm. Can Rondo kind of mesh with LeBron? So this was the feeling out year. This wasn't the year they're supposed to go to the finals. This wasn't the year they're supposed to threaten Golden State. Now, their goal is certainly make the playoffs and go as far as you can, which I think was the Western Conference Finals before the season. Now, we were both high on them, I feel, but a lot of people weren't as high on them as we were. I think you said the Western Conference Finals too, I believe.
I got OKC from day
one?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I
liked LA. I had them as the second, third, or fourth best team going into it. We get new data every day. Now.
Here's my so beginning the season, that was the goal. Like I never said they're beating Golden State this year. I said they're going to win a championship next year.
Correct.
So, but I just want to break everything down. So you mentioned who they were willing to trade for Anthony Davis, and I said 100%. I guess I'm crazy because everybody says no. I say yes because here's the thing: you're a big Shark Tank fan. You said you watched like every episode.
Never missed one.
Olivia and I watch Shark Tank all the time. Sometimes Mr. Wonderful will say, how can I get my money back? If I invest in you, when will I get my money back? And imagine if a shark was like, okay, you have to give me, in 4 years, I want all my money back. And the young company's like, okay, so you're investing in me. Yeah, we'll invest in you, but I want my money back in 4 years because that's the year they signed LeBron for 4 years. Okay. In 4 years, let's say you don't trade for Anthony Davis, and let's say you take the risk of trying to sign a free agent, like a Klay Thompson, who only seems to express interest if you sign Anthony Davis. Kawhi Leonard is probably going to the Clippers, that you and I would agree on. Kyrie Irving, who knows what he's doing? He may be a Knick. He may stay in Boston. He may go to Brooklyn. He probably not going to L.A.
All agree on these so far.
So all these we agree.
Yep.
So you're taking the risk. If you don't trade for Anthony Davis, LeBron's in year 16, you have him for 4 years. So what if you don't get a free agent? Oh, these young players are great. They're going to be good. And I'm as high on Lonzo Ball as anybody I know. Even I'm saying, okay, so he may be really good in 2 to 3 years. So that means LeBron's in his 18th, 19th year. You said you're going to have my money back in 4 years. And in the NBA, that's a championship. If I invest in you, I want a championship within those 4 years because LeBron, you're in your 16th year. Your window is not how you were when you went to Miami. You don't have 10 years left. You probably have 2 more years of maybe still being the best player in the world and another 2 where you may be a good Robin. So how am I going to win a championship in this short window? Okay, I get to keep all my young guys. I don't land a free agent. So I'm a really good team in the West with LeBron. Eventually, like you said, it's usually a championship or bust, right? So in this 4 years I didn't win a championship the first year. I didn't win a championship the second year because we didn't land a free agent. Now LeBron's on the back nine of his career, 2 years left on his contract. He's frustrated because he didn't win a championship the first 2 years. Like you said, starting to get injured a little bit more, and we don't have a free agent. That's what we call a failure. So what they did, and which I completely agree with, okay, we got to return the money within 4 years. We got to bring a championship. LeBron's only great for this amount of years. Because even though, like you said, he's fine wine, all-time great Iron Man, he is starting to get injured more. So now that may even increase on how much he's going to be great for, how long. We need to win now. So what I'm going to do, I'm trading all these young guys. Absolutely sucks. I hate it. but it has to be done because getting AD in the building ensures me on an opportunity to contend for a championship because now we have 2 of the top 5 players in the world, but we probably don't beat Golden State this year because 2 players without a deep roster doesn't do it. Now we can actually say, okay, look, Kyrie, you've expressed interest. You may go to New York. You may go to Brooklyn. You may stay in Boston. What opportunity can you have better than LA for your business? You say you want to retire early, make money, movie opportunities. Most importantly, you've redeemed yourself with LeBron. You have an opportunity to win a championship, and you don't have to worry about leading. You get to dethrone the Golden State Warriors. Clay, listen, they want to sign KD again. They want to sign Draymond and maybe Boogie again. And Curry, come over here. Your dad already commentates. Having AD in the building allows you to chase that free agent that we agreed on aren't going to get unless you get him. So now you have a better opportunity because now you have LeBron with AD with the possible 3rd star. And the other opportunity, you only had LeBron in the other route. That's it, an aging LeBron. The last thing I'll say about it is this. I'm upset with the Pelicans because they literally said, okay, Hart, Ball, Kuzma, Ingram, I think it was like Zubac, like Rondo, like 2 draft picks, right?
Yep.
And everyone's like, oh, my God, that's crazy. Pelicans are going to have to take it, though. They didn't think the Lakers were actually going to do it, I feel, because they wouldn't have offered that. So the Lakers like, okay, well, you know what? We'll do it. And I felt like once they said they'll do it, they're like, oh, my God, we really have these guys by their throat. Like, they'll do anything we ask.
It was that second grader who was the Indian giver.
Yeah. And they're like, okay, you give them an inch, now they're going to take a mile.
Yeah.
Okay, I want 2 more picks now because it looks like I can get anything I want from you. So I thought Magic Johnson made the right move because it's like, okay, hold on. We gave you the deal we originally wanted. We're not going to battle ourselves here. So I feel like in a way they caught Pelicans' bluff. And we could be wrong by the time this episode's released. We'll see afterwards. But I feel like they caught the Pelicans' bluff. They're like, oh, okay, listen, guys. This is at the end of the day, my job is on the line. I don't care what you say, Danny Ainge. I don't care what any of you guys say you'll give up for a 1-year rental. This is my career. I have a family to feed at home. If I don't take this offer and it just destroys our franchise, he's going to get fired. So I guarantee you he's probably going to call LA back and he's going to say, listen, LA, okay, let's do it. Instead of this, I want this. And I think the trade's going to happen. And I feel like I'm on an island before the trading deadline.
Oh, no.
I really do. And if it doesn't, then shame on me and shame on the Pelicans for giving up an offer. And because Danny Ainge says he may do this, he may do that, never made a promise. That was like in quotes to give up Jason Tatum. But at the end of the day, I'm still happy to be a Laker fan, and I don't think we're in the worst position because they still make the playoffs this year.
Maybe.
They do. LeBron on any team will do it. And these young players will do it for 2 reasons. One, they're young, and they still need to make money in the NBA. In order to do that, you have to play it on an exceptional level to make big money. Mm-hmm. So they're going to do that just to prove their worth in the NBA and for trade value.
Sure.
So they'll make the playoffs. Either way, Anthony Davis will be a Laker, but I think the Lakers will even go above and beyond. Even if they shouldn't add those 2 extra picks, they will, just to get this trade.
Wow. For one, any Shark Tank reference you make, I'm all in with. So you had me at hello.
Cuban's my favorite, too.
Yeah,
but
of course. It's
Cuban, I like Lori.
Yeah, no, all of them. Mr. Wonderful.
Mr. Wonderful's awesome.
Come on. Okay. You had, I think it was 16 ifs and possibilities in that statement there.
It's the NBA world.
A lot of mine was just straightforward, kind of, not,
Well, you said if they don't get Anthony Davis.
Well, right, they don't have Anthony Davis now. So all the things I'm saying is just in the present. Like, they don't have Anthony Davis moving forward. He's not a part of the team. I heard Paul George was going to be a Laker 2 years ago. It did not happen. I heard Kawhi Leonard was maybe going to be a Laker at that time.
The agents is a big thing, though. None of them shared the same agent. That runs the league.
Oh, I agree, but it's like it's not going to happen before the deadline.
That's not 100% true. It's in your favor for sure. I think I'm definitely the minority, but it's just not 100% true yet.
That will be my locked in at the end of the episode.
And it is probably right.
I just don't like how I feel like this season the Lakers to me had positive momentum. Christmas Day, they beat the Warriors. That sucked that LeBron got hurt. It did.
Yeah.
But I liked how Kuzma was playing, and I liked how Rondo and Ball was going off each other. Hart was off the bench. They were starting to play Mo Wagner more. Mo Wagner?
You talking about Mo Wagner?
Yeah, Mo Wagner. Oh. They were starting to play him more. Like, I just like the momentum of the team. Now it's loud. It's messy. It's like Dallas Cowboys stuff.
You act like LeBron-driven teams haven't been drama-oriented, though.
I'm just saying real quick, by the way, AD likes New York just as much as the Lakers. Breaking news when we're doing the podcast. Guys,
They can't get him this year, though, after everything.
For one,
they declined Porzingis. I'm really surprised on that.
We'll get into more. I want to talk about Porzingis and the Knicks. I'm still got a little bit more on the Lakers, so I don't want to get thrown off. They're not going to trade him before the deadline. I just don't see it. There's just no reason to because you have a whole nother year. And
You're not going to get a better offer.
Anthony Davis is, no, I don't think they will. But like I said, they're mad at him. And sometimes when you're mad, you don't see clearly. So I think they'll take a less offer from a team who, was nice or wasn't, feeling tricked on. And Bill Belichick never trades with the Browns. He didn't want to trade Jimmy Garoppolo to Cleveland just because Cleveland fired him. There's always something there. Okay, a couple more things about your Lakers real quick. You didn't like the youth.
Or didn't like the youth?
Like you just you want your money back in the 4 years, so you want to get Anthony Davis.
Yeah, this team that they're trying to construct is not a long-term success. It's a win now type of mentality.
Well, I hear you. I just totally disagree. I like Kyle Kuzma. I want to keep Kuzma.
He doesn't win you a championship, though.
You never know.
Not with just him and LeBron.
I just keep following me. For one, the Lakers had D'Angelo Russell. They traded them a year or two, but at least a year too early. Now he's a budding NBA All-Star.
I still support that move.
So it's a bad move.
No, it changed the culture, and that's exactly what they were trying to do, is create the culture.
He's a better player than Lonzo Ball.
And Derrick Rose was a better player than a lot of Jason Kidd at the time. But there's certain people that just don't blend well with your locker room. Him and Swaggy P hurt the locker room, but had talented numbers. And D'Angelo Russell's a fantastic player. I got to see him live when covering the Magic, but he wasn't the direction that they wanted to go in.
Well, they could have went the direction and let go of Swaggy P, and then the guy who didn't like D-Lo the most was Julius Randle, who left anyways. So the team is almost all new, kind of with LeBron, Rondo, and all these players. If they would have kept some of the youth, like Russell, and been an all-star, I think he would have helped. Another thing with keeping the young...
It's also year 4, you have to mention. Year 4, LeBron's in 19-20. He's past his prime. He's done.
Well, no, not year 4. Like Kuzma, this is his second year. Next year, I think year 3, he's popping. I think he's going to be the 14th best player in the world next year. I'm that high on Kuzma now. The Golden State Warriors 5 years ago, and anyone who follows the NBA know this, it was just this big blockbuster trade in the offseason. It was Kevin Love for Klay Thompson. And the Golden State Warriors, and at that time, guys, Google image his numbers, guys. Kevin Love was the best power forward by numbers. He was on Minnesota, averaging 22, 23, and around 14, 15 boards, double-double machine. He was awesome before he went to Cleveland. He won a championship, but of course he went to Cleveland, became the third guy instead of the first guy. Mm-hmm. And the Warriors at that time haven't won. They didn't win one playoff series yet. Klay Thompson and Steph were both shooters and kind of scorers. And they didn't have a big. Like Draymond hasn't excelled yet. And, the Warriors never really had a big until they just signed Cousins. And they said no to that deal because they felt like they had a good cohesive unit and they wanted to see what Klay blossomed. Like Klay was their guy and he was getting better and better. So to kind of say, we're kind of off right now, Brandon Ingram, but maybe 4 years from now, Brandon Ingram is a championship type
100%
of player.
Agree. 100% agree, but 4 years from now, LeBron's done.
That's fine.
You have to win now because your jobs won't be there if it doesn't turn out to be successful.
You're saying...
It's a win-now plan. 4 years, I agree with everything you said. Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, I love in 4 years. I think Kuzma could be an all-star.
4 months.
Ingram could be an all-star, but with this, you won't win a championship with that right now.
Well,
you won't beat the Warriors with that roster in 2 years.
Right now, you're not winning the championship with LeBron and AD right now.
You have a better shot.
You have a better shot
to land a third star, which does beat Golden State.
In 2019, you have zero shot to win the finals this year.
I'd never say zero. With LeBron and AD, I wouldn't say zero.
What's the percentage?
I would say 7%, 8%.
Okay.
And then can land a free agent, and then it's a 40, 50%.
But if I have the players now at the Lakers. Instead of saying if, and then trying to create the roster, I want no ifs. I want to keep my young players, get better, and then
That's
still
an if,
have.
though. Getting better is an if.
Kyle Kuzma is better from year one.
Yeah, but a lot of players plateau early, and even Lonzo Ball you've been low on. So, we're saying ifs, but even your scenario, in 4 years when they get better, that's an if too.
No, not 4 years. Next year. I want to keep all the young players, not 4 years. This is play on 2019, 2020. Keep all these good players. And I think Brandon Ingram's good. I think Lonzo Ball is good. I think Kyle Kuzma's really good. And then they still have money. Like, everyone's thinking that they have to trade and then sign a big-time free agent. Guys, I think Durant's going to New York. I think Kawhi, we think, is L.A., the Clippers, all this stuff. But still, let me just throw out 4 names. Kemba Walker, Paul Millsap, Jimmy Butler, and Tobias Harris. Especially maybe now with the trade to Philly, and we'll get into that later. But Tobias Harris was a good player. The Lakers could add a strong piece, a Kemba Walker, a Jimmy Butler, and he's not in the top 4. He's probably the 5th or 6th best free agent. No ifs, no trade in all your players. You can just have a lineup of Ball, Jimmy Butler, Kuzma, LeBron James, and Tyson Chandler.
I love that. That doesn't beat Golden State.
I think it's
Is Ball better than Curry?
It's pretty dang close.
Here, answer this then. Is Ball better than Curry?
No. Steph Curry is the second, third best player in the world.
And then who was the shooting guard on the Lakers lineup you just mentioned?
Probably, I would say Kuzma, Ingram, LeBron, they're all interchangeable.
Okay. Ingram, is he better than Clay?
No.
Okay, so that's 2-0, right?
Sure.
All right, is Kuzma, who's going to be really good, better than Durant? Let's just say he stays.
Durant's a Knick.
Well, let's just say for argument's sake he stays, right?
Nope.
Is he better than Durant?
No one's beating the Warriors if Durant stays.
But even if Durant stays, you have a good opportunity to beat them by getting stars. You need stars to win in this league. And I love a deep, young roster, but let's just say I think we're taking granted that LeBron's healthy next year. If LeBron continues to decline, just 1 second, if LeBron continues to decline next year, even with this great deep team, you don't beat an all-time great team, even if Durant leaves with a deep roster.
Well, I think you can. And so if they sign Klay Thompson, he's a star, right?
Who?
The Lakers.
If they sign Klay Thompson next year?
Yeah, because he's a free agent.
With what roster?
This team, you're just saying they need more stars, right? Mm-hmm. So you want to sign like someone like Klay. Mm-hmm. Kyle Kuzma is Klay.
No, he's not Klay.
He could.
That's a could. That's an if, though.
Oh, I know. That's the first if of this conversation. My point is that's kind of like my point. They're trying to microwave success. When success, just let it organically build. The New England Patriots organically draft players on their team in the players' way, and they get Tom Brady. The Golden State Warriors drafted Curry, drafted Clay, they drafted Draymond Green. They let these young guys play and develop.
Young guys. LeBron's not young. That's the difference, I think, in our argument is LeBron, that's what happens when you get LeBron. It's a win-now mentality. He has 4 years and he's done. If I was like, if I'm Magic Johnson, I'm like, if Genie's like, hey, this is our goal. We want to be the next dynasty. Then I don't trade for Anthony Davis. If they're like, hey, we need to win now while we have LeBron, then that's why I'm saying I trade for Anthony Davis. Yours is definitely a better business long term, 100%.
Okay.
Because you get Anthony Davis, you may have a shot to win now, but you're not going to be good for the next 5 years after LeBron's gone.
Yeah, and that's what I guess it's. Thank you for saying that, and that's like a part of it. But the other part is I'm still not giving up on. Kyrie Irving won the championship with LeBron, and it was it was his 4th year in the league.
Yeah.
So Kuzma, this is year 2. Ingram, year 3. That's what I mean. Like, I don't think these guys are that young. Ingram's year 4 next year.
Yeah.
So Ingram can play like if Kyrie played and still win a championship. I don't think this team is that far off. I like their momentum so much right before LeBron got hurt. And so if those players can just keep on developing, keep on playing, and then just add Tobias Harris or Kemba Walker.
You think that would be enough?
I do if Durant leaves, because I don't know how you feel about it. If Durant stays and Golden State stays healthy, they're not beating them. That's just my in my core, unless you literally get Kyrie and AD and Butler. Like, you need 2, 3, 4 of these guys. But I really do think Durant's going to leave.
It's
just like Kuzma, Kemba, and LeBron. I would take those three over Curry, Clay, and Draymond. Because I got LeBron as the best guy. I have Kuzma and Clay close. And then I just have, to me, Draymond's declining.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So and then Ingram and Hart and, Rondo, playoff Rondo off the bench. Like, I just feel that they would give up. I feel they're giving up too much for AD. And
like I said, I think most people agree with you. I'm definitely in the minority here. And Chris Broussard, I think, is the only other human being on earth that said it. I feel it's...
You're in good company, though. It's you and Chris Broussard, me, and the 8 million other people.
I know. Either way, okay, let's just say they don't get Anthony Davis. And you've seen how the bench was. So as much optimism as you have in the young guys, I really love them too. So going forward, is this repairable to still have a successful season? Say you don't get Anthony Davis.
Maybe not, but it is going forward. I think if they don't get traded, you will almost
have a meeting or something.
Yeah, have a meeting, and just those guys will want to kick ass and prove them wrong. Be like, Genie Bus, Magic, you want to trade me? All right. This might finally wake up Brandon Ingram.
Make Lonzo aggressive.
Yeah. And Kuzma will just keep on playing. And then I'm telling you, at the end of the season, Kyle Kuzma is going to play 69 games, average 21, 52% from the three-point line, 8 rebounds. Be like, guys, we're trading this guy? Like,
he's a stud.
His numbers are better than Andrew Wiggins' numbers. And his name is not a superstar or a star or an all-star yet. But I think if you give him
he will be an all-star.
Yeah, he will be.
Yeah.
I think he's an 8-time all-star.
Yeah.
So I think they will repair. Yes. They can get out of this funk and they can get better. And the offseason's big. They still have a max contract open. So
they're going to have 2, hopefully, once the Caldwell Pope $30 million. Like, that expires. That's like why they haven't tried to include him in the trade, so they can get 2 max.
I don't think they can't sign 2 max. I know they can trade for 1 and then get 1. And I think they have a room to get 2. You can get Jimmy Butler and Trevor Terry Rozier for Boston, or Paul Millsap. Like, and there's a lot of free agents. Vucevic. Imagine if you just add Vucevic and Jimmy Butler to this team, and Durant leads. Like, I can argue they're the first, second, or third best team in the West next year.
It's going to be interesting. And like I said, I guarantee I have a weird feeling, and I could be completely off by the time this episode. Everyone can laugh at me because they can look back at it. But I really feel like the Lakers are going to go all in and do it. I do. And then everyone's going to be like, are you kidding me? You traded all those picks? And I'm going to be the only happy one there is.
Can we talk about the Knicks now? Can we shift gears?
Yeah. When the news broke, I can't believe I had to tell you it. I'm like, you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And my initial reaction was, and I'll let you take it away as a Knicks fan, but my initial reaction was like, oh, man, why would you get rid of Porzingis? But then I really did think about it, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense for both parties. Like, there's pros and cons to both, but it definitely makes sense to be a Knicks fan.
I was in Gulf Shores, Alabama, and I had no service. And, like, I think we were talking. We're like, hey, we're going to do a podcast later tonight or tomorrow, something like that. And, like, I'm driving back, and we're talking about the new studio that we're in right now, and it's shaping up, and we're just loving life. And you're like, Dave, you see this? I'm like, what? And I was the same thing. My first gut reaction was like, wow, I did not want to trade Porzingis. But I really looked into him and his decline of healthiness. There's no ability like availability. And with him missing so many games, he's 7'3", he's European. Yao Ming had to retire early. There's just a lot of things. And he wants the 100% guaranteed max. He wants 5 years, $150. There's no doubt about it. He's not taking a pay cut. He's not taking a, hey, Knicks, you kind of stick with me. I missed a whole year in the ACL. I know we're building here. I'll take a little bit. He wants everything. So I thought about that. Then I'm just going to be brutally honest about it. There's just been so much positive momentum since that trade with the coach and the GM, Perry and Fizdale. And right now they've over they got the worst record in the league. The Suns got more wins than them, and Cleveland. We're doing the Zion Williamson lottery really well right now. We're losing games to get him. We're trading Tim Hardaway Jr., Courtney Lee, a part of that. 0 bad contracts, all the most allowed money in the 2019 offseason. And this Kevin Durant thing's building really organic just momentum.
The story that just broke very quickly, I think, isn't what you're talking about. Is he thought he would be the best player in the world once he beat LeBron in the finals. People would view him as that. And the fact that it didn't, I think, upsets him. So it's kind of back to your point. I think that's why you have a legitimate shot at landing Kevin Durant is because he's trying to prove to people, okay, look, I thought rings would make you think I'm better than him. Let me go win it somewhere where no one thinks I could win it. And I think that's kind of
it's the point. Miami to Cleveland.
Yeah.
LeBron won 2 in Miami. He could have stayed there, and it would always felt like a little, guys, he joined Dwayne Wade and Bosh. His championship in Cleveland, he's even said it in the
most
HBO show, he thinks he's the greatest of all time because of it.
Yeah.
Some people counted this too. And if Kevin Durant goes to New York, it would be the most important, and people will count it as 2.
Yeah.
And it would elevate him to another level. And he could be... And Kevin Durant's a smart guy. He really is. Business savvy, basketball savvy. He's really smart. And I know this sounds crazy, and everyone's like, come on, Dave. And we joked about it. I'd rather be a Knicks fan than a Laker fan right now. And the reason why is all to win a championship and to up Golden State Warriors dynasty, the greatest team probably of our lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Zion Williamson, Kevin Durant, and Kemba Walker. Like, all these stars could be aligning just perfect. Like, these could really happen. Shit, it could be Kyrie Irving. It really could be Kyrie, but I'm just even taking it down.
If. Yeah, that's what's hard. There's a lot of ifs. Because you have a 14% chance to get Zion, which is the highest out of all the teams right now, but that's still 14% chance. So these are all big ifs.
Very true. But if we're the one, they can't move any lower than 3. So the third pick, we talked about it. I love Cam Reddish.
Mm-hmm.
I love the who's Rashad Phillips' boy?
John Morant.
Yeah, John. He could be our point guard.
They say the next Russell Westbrook.
So if we get him, and then now we don't have to spend money on a Kemba or Kyrie, and now we get Kevin Durant and Jimmy Butler.
So you're hoping you see, but it's a big if though for both of them.
No, 100%, all of it. Yeah. And that's what I mean. It's a little risky. I see it. If I said this, if we get the 3rd or 4th pick and somehow win a couple more games. DeAndre Jordan leaves. Dennis Smith Jr. gets hurt again. For one, I like Dennis Smith Jr., by the way, too. He's just been good 2 games in a row. Nice asset. Kind of feels like a Chauncey Billups. They traded him too early.
He was the number 1 pick out of high school. Like, he was the number 1 projected point guard.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
If we don't make this big free agent splash and just get 2 guys, we talked about him, we know because of the Magic. If we get like Vucevic and overpay for Rozier from Boston, it's a bust. Then the Porzingis trade goes bad.
Mm-hmm.
But the Knicks, we've had so many years down in the gutter. I love it. You feel
good momentum.
Yes.
For the Mavericks side, I do want to say this. I think it was extremely smart for Cuban to do it because the positive side, if it works out, Luka Doncic is like legitimate borderline all-star already. And, I mean, I don't think he was an all-star this year. I know he had a lot of popularity and a lot of votes. But
I love him. But
for a rookie, he's putting up terrific numbers. And then you add Porzingis, and they both kind of came the similar route where foreign players, overseas, and obviously under Dirk's tutelage, you can kind of learn from him and what it's like to be in the NBA. It's a great, great fit for both of them to be together. But let's just say Porzingis is injured, and he doesn't recover the way most big men do. That's bad, to get rid of Dennis Smith Jr., to get rid of all the pieces they got rid of. So, hey, I think it's a high risk but a great reward.
And this is just the elephant in the room that people aren't talking about, and I brought it up. Guys, 62, 58, 14, tore the ACL, 0. He's not playing at all this year.
It's going down.
It's going down, and it was never high to begin with. He's an injury-prone player, and he said it's already to Dallas. Yeah, well, I'll resign here, 5-year, $150. He's not taking a penny. The Dallas is locking themselves into the Porzingis trade for the next 5 years. If you were Dallas, just right now, Max, if I said you can have Jimmy Butler, would you take Jimmy Butler over Porzingis?
That's a great question.
Or a Kemba? My point is you have $30 million or, there's so many free agents and
there's a lot of people you would take over him.
Yeah. Or even 2 players. Like maybe Dallas is saying, hey, our team we re-signed DeAndre Jordan for $10 million and then give Tobias Harris $20 million. Like it's just,
they have to keep into account this. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, well, he could be our next Dirk. Dirk did not play the way Porzingis plays. Porzingis moves a lot quicker. He slashes a lot more.
Really
He's more vertical. He goes up and down. Dirk was very aware of what he can and can't do. He has the fader that was unstoppable, very soft touch around the rim, great shooter.
Yep.
But Porzingis, it takes a lot of risks. He jumps really high, he attacks the rim, and he puts a lot more damage on his body. And maybe that's something Dirk can tell him, but the Dallas Mavericks have to be aware. Just because you have another 7-foot-plus European shooter doesn't mean he's going to have the longevity of Dirk.
Great point. Unbelievable point. All right, keep the train moving. You and I, Max, one thing I love about us is that we won't die on a bad sword.
Yep.
Hey,
we die on good swords.
we have great things. But we didn't think sometimes that New England was going to, win the championship. We got new information, we predicted them to win the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So it goes up and down. Philadelphia 76ers, I had Boston winning the East, and then you kind of had Philly. Then you switched it maybe back to Boston or Toronto, like you were going back and forth. Then they got Jimmy Butler. You were all in on that trade.
Yep.
I left. I ran out, sold all my stock.
Yep.
And I felt very vindicated. It didn't work with Jimmy. He's already arguing with all them. So I'm like,
weird.
Yeah, I didn't like it. And I remember a couple episodes ago, you're like, yeah, you might be right on it. I got off on it.
Yeah.
I got new data today.
Yep.
They just traded Tobias Harris for Wilson Chandler, a lawn chair, and the purple bag of Skittles.
There's my initial reaction. Can I take the floor with this one real quick?
The floor is yours, cousin.
I heard it on First Things First, so I'll give them credit, of course. Nick Wright and Chris Carter, they said one really interesting thing. And they were like, the reason why they played J.J. Redick is to space the floor. Ben Simmons, obviously not a shooter. He did shoot a three-point shot, by the way, this season. So congrats to Ben. Joel Embiid can shoot the three for a big man, but he's not a three-point shooter. J.J. Redick was really the only guy to space the floor. But he's obviously a liability defensively, right? Tobias Harris, and Jimmy Butler's good, but he's not a three-point shooter. Tobias Harris is an elite three-point shooter. He shoots like 41 to 43% three-point shooting.
Perfect for this.
And he's not a liability defensively at all. So, he does exactly what J.J. Redick did, but does everything else. Just better defensively, taller, bigger, stronger, faster, younger, finishes at the rim. I love this for Philadelphia.
Kazu, did you hear that Tobias Harris, his marks on the trade, like what he thought and what he thought about the Clippers?
No, I didn't get to hear it yet.
Me either, because he doesn't say anything. He's perfect for Philly.
I didn't hear it.
Jimmy Butler, chatter, chatter, chatter. I'm the best. I want the ball. Give me the money. I want everything. Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, they're the iron poles of the team. They're the future. Those are the building blocks, the cement.
The foundation.
Tobias Harris, just help him be a good C-, be a good Robin to those two Batmans you have on the team. Shut your mouth, play good defense, shoot threes, be a good player. That's who Tobias Harris is. Jimmy Butler drives me crazy. I like them, and I like Jimmy Butler in a playoff series because he's talented as hell. And I think they have a legit shot to win the East now.
I can be hard-headed, right? Especially with debating. So if it's like one-on-one, it's like, even if I think I'm wrong, I'm not going to admit it because it's just one-on-one. Then if it's like two-on-one in a room, it's like, they may be onto something. The two of them both feel this way. I'm disagreeing, but I still could be right.
Sure,
But if there's three people in a room and they all think something and I'm like, no, then I'm like, okay, look, there's probably something I'm doing wrong here. Jimmy Butler may argue with these two young guys and say they're young, but if Tobias Harris comes in here and clicks well with them, Jimmy, there's three of them that are clicking. You clearly need to get in line here.
It's you.
Yeah.
Hey, Jimmy, Chicago was good, and then all of a sudden it wasn't good, and there was a lot of friction there. Guys, Minnesota was good. They almost made the playoffs 2 years ago, and then they had two good young players, and then there was friction there. And Philly was really good. They had two young players, and all of a sudden there's friction. Jimmy, it's you!
And I think Tobias has a lot to prove. This is his fifth team, and he's trying like, okay, look, I can succeed. I want to be on a championship team. Dude, this is for pretend, like, because Tobias Harris is borderline, but in the East, you could make the case he's an all-star.
Sure.
We have to wait to see how it plays out. But 4 all-stars on one team in the East, are they the favorites?
I think they are now. I'm telling you, I got new data, and I think, and it's all about fit.
Yeah.
I talked to a couple people. It's funny. I'm driving, and they said it. They're like, man, I can listen to sports shows, but what you and Max have, you guys are awesome. You guys have a great fit. You guys go back and forth, and that's why we're the best damn sports podcast show in the world. But my point is, Tobias Harris, I believe, will fit in Philly. Yeah. I think Ben, now he's got JJ on the right side. He's got Tobias on the left. I think he will, in big moments, shy away, let Ben take over, let Joel take over at the beginning of games. But in the second quarter, when the team's in a little bit of a rut or, they just need a basket, step up and not get in their way.
This is perfect for everybody. Now Ben has more people to facilitate towards. Yes. Then there's less attention on Joel because you can't collapse on Embiid in the post because you got shooters around him. Then Jimmy Butler doesn't have to feel like all the scoring load is really on him on the wing because he has Tobias. Then Tobias doesn't have to feel like he has to do all the scoring load because he has Jimmy to do it and he has Ben to facilitate. I think, in my opinion, they're the favorites in the East right now.
I agree with you, too. I love Boston and Brad Stevens in a playoff series. He's so damn great as a coach. I love Philly, but not even this year, but moving forward, I think he's the 100%. He's the parachute, the Jimmy Butler parachute. I feel like Philly can go to Jimmy and go, hey, Jimmy, be quiet. Play great basketball. We'll think about paying you. If not, we got Tobias Harris here. He's actually a little bit taller than you. His three-point percentage is actually 6 points higher than you. And he says he's going to take $5 million less than you.
Okay, I'm out. And then the Lakers say, you know what? We'll give you, what do you need? You just got rid of a wing. We'll give you Brandon Ingram and we'll give you Josh Hart for Jimmy Butler.
Oh, yeah.
And we keep Kuz.
That's what the Lakers need, more freaking noise from Jimmy Butler.
And we keep Kuz.
Jimmy Butler's a perfect Laker. He'll fit in there perfect with good young players and LeBron. That just works out
If
great.
this trade does happen, I called it. That's all I'm saying. If this trade happens.
If this trade happens, I will tie your shoes 5 days in a row.
I'll take it.
Okay.
I'll take it. That makes sense.
Okay. Hey, guys, we went to the Super Bowl. We told you how great Tom Brady was. Hopefully you heard about how great LeBron James is. All the NBA news, the New York Knicks will take over and win the championship in 2021. Lastly, let's just close it down. We got a couple more minutes left. Cuzzo, big UFC this weekend, UFC 234. It's a middleweight four-way dance. Main event, co-main event, all four middleweights, a championship match, and a number one contender championship match.
We have a locked-in alumni on the card, Sam Alvey.
Good point.
And I think he actually sets a record. It was like 17 fights on the main card. Something crazy like that, because he's a veteran, obviously, in the UFC. Sure, I have to look into it, but I just wanted to give him his due, because like a fighter's career is typically like 2 to 4 years, something crazy like that, just because of how much damage you take and just you never know what the division, how competitive the UFC is. So to fight on like 17 main cards is absolutely a ridiculous accomplishment.
Smiling Sam Alvey.
I asked him for his picks for Fight Bananas, and he's like, oh, I definitely got the smiling ginger. I'm like, come on, man. You didn't have to pick your own fight. I knew that. What, are you going to pick the other guy? Come on, Sam.
Oh, man. FightBananas.com, by the way, great plug.
But it's a great card.
Yeah, I just kind of going right into the main event. I like Robert Whittaker. I really do. I think he's an underrated champion. Kind of him and Tyron Woodley are both just underrated. Welterweights and middleweights are like a long-term history UFC great championships and champion guys. And Anderson Silva, GSP.
Yeah.
And I don't think Whittaker gets the credit he deserves. So he gets at this. And the co-main event, we don't have to go much on it. FightBananas.com. We had a fight breakdown. Style Bender will be the champion one day. He definitely locks in a defeat over Anderson the Spider Silva.
100% agree on both of those.
Okay.
And then the last thing, he said he has fireworks after the fight, like after he wins. And they were like, oh, it's like a title shot demand, of course. And he's like, no, it's something different. So I've been kind of contemplating, like, what could that be? I always like predicting some, like, just weird stuff. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, what could he possibly do that would stand out and to celebrate that victory? I really don't know. Does he, like, get a spider because it's symbolic for Anderson, the Spider Silva? Or is it, like, I don't know. He gets a title shot next, though.
Oh, yeah.
So,
and especially if the middleweight's clean. Like, if Whittaker just beats Gastelum. If just
no controversies.
Yeah, if that's like a 5-round war and Kelvin becomes the champion on a split decision, they might just give an automatic rematch. And you know the UFC, Colby Covington's still the interim champion in the welterweights. It's been like he won in 2016.
He's not the interim champ anymore, actually.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm serious. The press conference, they took it away. But
I'm going to talk to Dana tonight.
Download and subscribe. Locked In with 2 N's. Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Stitcher Radio, Spotify for the best NBA talk, MMA talk, NFL talk, any type of talk there is. We do it. Marvel movies. The new trailer came out, by the way. And nobody seemed to notice Thor was in Thanos' farm. I don't know if you noticed that in the trailer. If you didn't, you should have watched the Super Bowl. So It's not a spoiler alert. But he's in Thanos' farm at the end of the movie when he's like kind of damaged and he's looking out at the field. Thor's standing right there. So I'm just saying, I don't know what that could mean. But
gosh, I cannot wait.
I know. It's in like 43 days.
Wow. 43 days?
Yeah, it's
You want to go wait in line?
Oh, of course. I'm going to pre-order my tickets.
IMAX?
I think I'm going to take 2 days off of work.
Are you going to see it in IMAX Van Auken?
Wow. We should go see it in IMAX, though. That'd be really cool. Drive to Orlando or
Did
something.
I just create something there?
IMAX Van Auken.
Yeah. So, like, if we want
like
to go...
IMAX Van Auken.
That's pretty good, actually,
I actually
right?
just got onto it. I'm like, oh, that's good.
Man, yep, that's me.
Everything that has Max in it is actually great. I'm not trying to, like, brag about my name, but Max Holloway, IMAX, Mad Max...
Max and Secret Life of Pets. That's a good, funny movie.
Maximus from Gladiator.
Oh, great movie. Guys, Twitter and Instagram, David Van Auken, spell it correctly. Follow me. You'll see tons of great baby pictures.
Nice. And like always, people,
Stay
locked in.